The jungle fell silent as a massive anaconda wrapped itself around a helpless puppy. Villagers froze in shock, convinced nothing could save the tiny puppy. But then, the mother dog lunged forward with a fury no one expected. What happened? Next left everyone stunned. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. Near the edge of a quiet farm, a small family of dogs lived peacefully, their days filled with play, naps, and the comforting rhythm of rural life. The youngest of them, a tiny brown and white puppy, had a spirit brighter than the morning sky. He stumbled on clumsy paws, chasing butterflies that always escaped his reach. His little tail wagged with boundless joy, and his playful barks echoed like music across the yard. To anyone watching, he was the very picture of innocence. Keeping a close eye on him was his mother, a loyal, strong, and protective dog who never let her guard down. She had already raised litters before, but this puppy was different, smaller, more fragile, and the apple of her eye. Every step he took, she followed with watchful eyes. That afternoon seemed ordinary, like any other. The sun was warm, the fields were calm, and danger felt like a distant thought. Yet just beyond, the trees at the edge of the farm, something stirred. The peace would not last for long. Beyond the edge of the field, hidden deep in the shadows, something powerful and terrifying was on the move. Sliding silently through the tall grass, an enormous anaconda crept closer, its scales glistening under the fading sunlight. Each muscle rippled as it slithered, its tongue flicking in and out, tasting the air for prey. The predator had been watching for days, waiting for the right moment. It had seen the puppy wander near the field's border, curious and unafraid, too young to understand the dangers that lurked in the wild. Today, the chance finally came. The puppy, distracted by a butterfly, stumbled closer to the tall grass where the serpent lay waiting. The puppy barked playfully, his small paws bouncing on the dirt. He thought the rustle in the grass was just another insect, another game. But when the ground shifted and the massive body of the anaconda emerged, the air seemed to freeze. Its eyes locked on the helpless pup, hunger gleaming within them. Unaware of what was about to unfold, the puppy wagged his tail, standing still for just a second too long. And in that brief moment, the anaconda struck, fast, silent, and deadly. The strike was lightning fast. Before the little puppy could even yelp, the massive coils of the anaconda wrapped around his fragile body. The playful bark turned into a sharp cry of terror that echoed across the field, sending birds fluttering into the air. His tiny legs kicked helplessly, trapped in the snake's crushing grip. The serpent's muscles tightened with terrifying force. Every squeeze made it harder for the pup to breathe, his small chest rising and falling in desperate gasps. The anaconda's head hovered inches away, tongue flicking, eyes unblinking, like a predator savoring the moment before its victory. The puppy whimpered, his voice growing weaker with each passing second. The once carefree field now seemed filled with dread. The grass shook violently as the snake's powerful body shifted, pulling the helpless pup closer to the ground. Dust rose around them, marking the struggle. Anyone who saw it would have felt the hopelessness of the moment, the life of a small, innocent creature being stolen before it even began. And yet, just when it seemed all was lost, the sound of another voice cut through the field. A furious, heart-stopping growl rose in the distance. The mother dog had heard, and she was coming. The moment the mother dog appeared, the atmosphere shifted. Her ears were pinned back, her fur bristling like a soldier ready for battle. She didn't hesitate, not even for a heartbeat. With every stride, her paws slammed against the ground, sending sprays of dirt behind her. Her growl was raw, furious, and filled with the kind of courage only a mother could summon. The anaconda turned, sensing the threat, but its coils did not loosen. Instead, it tightened its grip on the tiny pup, as if challenging her to come closer. The puppy let out a faint whimper, the sound cutting straight through her heart, fueling her rage. With bared teeth glinting in the fading sunlight, she lunged at the snake. Her jaws clamped down on its thick, scaly body, shaking it violently. The serpent writhed, muscles rippling under its armored skin, but the mother refused to let go. Each tug was a declaration, She would not let her baby die. The air filled with the sounds of a primal struggle, the hiss of the serpent, the snarls of the mother, and the gasps of villagers gathering nearby. A life-or-death battle was unfolding, and no one could predict who would triumph. The snake retaliated with terrifying force. Its body coiled tighter, crushing the puppy's tiny chest, while its massive tail lashed out, striking the mother across her side. She yelped in pain, but refused to back down. Her teeth sank deeper, tearing at the serpent's scales, determined to make it release her pup. The battle raged in a blur of fur and scales. Dust swirled in the air, kicked up by their violent thrashing. The villagers cried out, some too frightened to intervene, others frozen in awe at the sheer bravery before them. The mother dog was small compared to the anaconda, yet her spirit made her seem larger than life. The snake's hiss echoed like thunder, but the mother's growls were sharper, louder, vibrating with raw defiance. She clawed, bit, and pulled with every ounce of strength in her body. Blood began to seep from the serpent's thick hide, proof that she was making it suffer. The puppy, though weak, whimpered again, reminding everyone why this fight mattered. It wasn't just survival, it was love in its fiercest form. And in that moment, the villagers realized they were witnessing a miracle, a mother's unbreakable will against nature's deadliest predator. The villagers could no longer stand by. The sight of the desperate mother locked in battle with the monstrous snake shook them from their fear. A few men grabbed sticks, others picked up farming tools, and together they rushed forward, shouting loudly to distract the serpent's focus away from the mother dog. The anaconda thrashed violently, its coils tightening around the struggling puppy, but the sudden chaos confused it. The villagers struck at its body, some targeting its head, while others aimed for its midsection. Each blow echoed through the clearing, mingling with the mother's growls and the serpent's furious hisses. The mother seized the opportunity. With renewed strength, she lunged again at the snake's neck, clamping down with unyielding force. Blood trickled from her mouth, but she refused to release her grip. The villagers' strikes grew fiercer, emboldened by her bravery, their voices rising as one. Finally, the serpent's hold began to weaken. The puppy's cries grew louder as the coils loosened, air filling his tiny lungs again. The villagers struck one last coordinated blow, and the massive snake recoiled, its grip broken. In that moment, the tide had turned. Hope returned, though. The battle was far from over. Just when relief seemed within reach, the serpent's eyes flashed with renewed rage. With a terrifying burst of strength, it lashed out, its massive body striking the ground with a force that sent dust and leaves flying. The villagers stumbled back, their grip on courage wavering as the snake coiled again. But the mother dog refused to retreat. Bloodied and exhausted, she stood tall in front of her trembling puppies, her body forming a shield. Her growls deepened, rumbling like thunder, daring the serpent to try again. She had already risked everything. Now, she was prepared to give even more if it meant saving her young. The snake lunged, its gaping jaws aimed directly at her. For a split second, time froze. The villagers gasped, their hearts pounding. Then, with astonishing speed, the mother dodged to the side and sank her teeth into the serpent's exposed flesh. Her bite was fueled not by strength alone, but by pure, unshakable love. The villagers saw their chance. Together, they raised their sticks and weapons high and delivered a flurry of crushing blows. The serpent writhed violently, then collapsed with a heavy thud. The battle was finally ending, but its scars would remain etched in every soul who witnessed it. Silence settled over the clearing as the serpent lay motionless, its enormous body stretched across the ground. The villagers lowered their sticks, their breathing heavy, hearts still racing from the terrifying fight. Slowly, their eyes shifted to the mother dog, who now collapsed beside her trembling puppies. Her sides rose and fell rapidly, every breath a testament to the battle she had endured. The villagers rushed forward, some bringing water, others gently stroking the pups to calm them. A boy placed his small hands on the mother's head, whispering words of gratitude. The puppies huddled against her, safe once more, their tiny tails wagging weakly. Even in her exhaustion, the mother opened her eyes and nudged them closer, proving her love remained unbroken, whispers filled The crowd, astonishment at the courage they had just witnessed. She fought like a warrior, one elder murmured. Another added softly, no human could have done what she just did. The villagers knew they had seen more than survival. They had witnessed the power of sacrifice. That night, the mother dog and her puppies were carried to safety, no longer strays but guardians of a story that would be told for generations. A mother's love conquers even the fiercest of monsters.